Today's Amud in Maseches Berachos is Nun Hey Amud Beis 55b. Be'ezus Hashem, we're going to start at Amar of Huna, which is about 5-6 lines from the top of Nun Hey Amud Beis. We're going to have two sections in today's learning. The first section is really a finale of yesterday's discussion about the implications and meanings of dreams, and we'll move on after that talking about the remedy to dreams, how to react afterwards in terms of resolving or interpreting. We'll go through a series of different points about that, and we'll finish up finally at the end discussing if there actually is real impact or if it's meaningless. As Hashem, let's get started towards the top of Nun Hey Amud Beis, Amar of Huna, about 5-6 lines from the top of the page. Says the Gemara, Amar of Huna, La'adam shetoiv, to a good person, Ein marin loy chaloim toiv. They do not show him a good dream. La'adam toiv, to a good person, Ein marin loy chaloim toiv. He is not shown a good dream. La'adam ra, and for a bad person, Ein marin loy chaloim ra. He is not shown a bad dream. Now Rashi had a bit of a different girsa, which is very important to mention here because really the Gemara flows better with it. Rashi learns the opposite. Well, the implication. Adam toiv marin loy chaloim ra is actually not just that he doesn't get shown a good dream, but a good person is shown a bad dream, and a bad person is shown good dreams. Rashi explains why. So the reason is because a good person, Hashem wants him to improve, do teshuvah, be worried that he'll sin, and that it should act as an atonement, the fact that he's sad or nervous about the dream. So therefore he's not shown a good dream that would bring him joy and perhaps take away from his schar in the next world. He's shown a bad dream that would be a kapara itself in the sadness as well as a motivation to do teshuvah. Whereas a bad person, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants that his schar is received in this world, and therefore he gets these good dreams that give him pleasure, so he actually gets a good dream which is for his detriment. Tanya Nami Hachi, continues the Gemara. We have a brayso that supports this. Kol Shnasav Shel David. All of the years of David HaMelech, who was a tzaddik, Lo Ra'a Chalam Toiv, he never saw a good dream. The Chol Shnasav Shel Achitophel, in all the years of Achitophel, Achitophel was a big Talmid Chacham, but also as the Gemara looks at him over here, he was considered a rasha. In the context, the Gemara is saying over here, Lo Ra'a Chalam Ra. So all of his years, Lo Ra'a Chalam Ra. He didn't see a bad dream. So meaning the idea is that he didn't have this motivation to improve. He wasn't sent that siman from Shemayim. Asks the Gemara, Eini, is this true? What you're saying is that a tzaddik will only get negative dreams and a rasha will get positive dreams. Is this true, Vaksiv? But the pasuk in Tehillim says, Leisa une lecha ra'a. It's Yoshe B'Seiser and Tzadi Aleph in Tehillim. It says, Leisa une lecha ra'a. It says, no negativity will befall you. V'amar avchiz the amar of Yomi bar Abba. What is David HaMelech saying about righteous people? Shelo yahavi lucha, that they shouldn't overwhelm you. Lo chaloimus ra'im, not bad dreams. V'lo hirhurim ra'im, nor bad thoughts. This is going to be the kasha. You see, he's talking about David HaMelech saying for tzadikim, they shouldn't receive bad dreams. Seemingly, that's not the good thing for tzadikim. And the pasuk continues, V'nega le'ikrav bi'ahalecha, a nega, an affliction, should not encroach in your tents. So ahalecha, your tents, refers to, as we find in the Torah also, one's wife. So what is it referring to? What negative thing could encroach in one's tent that David HaMelech is saying it shouldn't happen to a tzaddik? When a person returns from travel and he's looking to being together with his wife, it shouldn't end up that she's a suffik nida when he gets back. Very interesting. The Gemara says suffik nida, not that she's a vaday nida. If she's a vaday nida, okay, it is what it is. But suffik nida is even worse because, in a certain sense, maybe she's mutaris and you'll still have to refrain. So that suffering or that challenge is more difficult. But the point is, what do you see from the beginning of the pasuk? We said David HaMelech is saying that lo chaloimus ra'im, seemingly it's not a good thing for tzadikim to receive bad dreams. But we just finished saying that HaKadosh Baruch Hu shows them bad dreams, which is in some way beneficial to them. Ella, the Gemara answers, Ihu chazile, acharini chazule. It's true. A tzaddik himself will not see bad dreams personally, because for him to receive a bad dream directly is a negative thing. But acharini chazule, other people will have bad dreams about that tzaddik, and the tzaddik will hear about that, and it'll cause him to be nervous and do teshuvah and be sad and receive a kapara. But to receive it directly, that's not going to be, because that's suffering that he is not going to have to endure. Nun Hey Amud Beis, about 4 or 5 lines down the middle lines. Says the Gemara, is this true? What you're saying really, it seems to come out here is, he does not have dreams that are bad about himself. And we said also he doesn't have good dreams because that would detract from his schar in the next world with his joy. But then it comes out that l'chayr, he doesn't even have any dreams about himself. But is it considered a mile that he doesn't have dreams? But Rabbi Zeira taught, Kol halan shiva yamin v'loy chaloim. Anyone that sleeps 7 nights and doesn't have a dream, Nikra Ra, he's called a bad person. Where do we find this? Shene'emar. Now this is a pasuk in Mishlei, which we're going to change the way to read it. The simple pshat is V'saveya yolin bali pakid Ra. He sleeps satiated without being reminded of bad. Al tikri saveya. Don't read it as if it's saveya. Nun hey amud beis. Al tikri saveya. Don't read it as if it's satisfied. Ela sheva. Now how do you read it sheva? V'sheva yolin bali pakid Ra. If somebody sleeps 7 nights, Bali Yapaket, and he doesn't have any information coming his way, Min HaShamayim, he's not getting any dreams, Ra, he's a bad person. So asks the Gemara, but the way you're saying now is, tzadikim, righteous people, they don't have a good dream, and they also don't have bad dreams about themselves. So how can you say then that's a good thing if we just said it's negative? Ela hachika amar. So the Gemara explains like this. This is what really is the pshat with tzadikim. Dechaza v'lo yada my chaza. The pshat with tzadikim is they do have dreams. They are going to have dreams, but they'll have dreams that they won't necessarily. Now, the way Rashi learns is they'll have a dream, they'll wake up, they'll remember they had a dream, but they will forget what the dream was. Very interesting. Rashi says here, "Dechazi v'lo yada my chazi." Adam tov, a good person, marin lechalam tov. Really, he'll have a good dream. But by the time he wakes up, he'll forget that it was good so that he doesn't rejoice and then gets char in this world. That's the kind of dream that a righteous person will have. So he won't have a negative dream about himself. He won't have a positive dream that he'll remember. He'll have a dream that's positive and he won't remember. That's what it's talking about. If somebody sees a dream, moving on now to the next section, we're going to talk a little bit about interpreting or the remedying dreams. If somebody sees a dream, aguma, and he's very nervous about it, he feels badly about it, he should go and interpret it in front of 3 people. Asks the Gemara, Iftarenu, he should interpret. Chizr taught us in the previous Amud, that a dream that's not interpreted is like a letter that's not read. Why would you go interpret it? As long as it's not interpreted, it's like a letter that's not read and it has no significance. It won't have any effect. Ela ema, so the Gemara says, rather, what is it referring to? The concept of atavas chalaim. What's atavas chalaim? This is brought down in Shulchan Aruch. Yativenu b'nei shloisha. The pshat is, he should remedy it, he should improve it, he should make it better in front of 3 people. And there's a procedure, as the Gemara is about to describe. If you're nervous about a dream, bring 3 chevra there. There's a process that you could do to make sure that it shouldn't bother you, it shouldn't affect you negatively. Leisi tlasa, bring 3 people. V'leim elahu, and he should say to those 3 people, I saw a good dream. Now, it really wasn't good necessarily, but you say, I saw a good dream. And they will say to him, Hanoch, these 3 people, Tavahu v'tavalihavi. They'll say, it is good and it will be good. Rachmana l'shavi l'tav shevazim. We'll go with the first pshat in Tosfos. The Hashem should make it good 7 times. The first pshat in Tosfos is 7 times it should be good. Meaning it's part of the incantation. Shevazim ligzeru alach. It should be 7 times good. Ligzeru alach min shemaya. Hashem should decree from heaven to lihavi tova that it should be good. I think Tosfos says a second pshat that you need to say it 7 times, this incantation. V'yahavi tova, and it will be good. So that's what they're supposed to say. And then v'leimru gimel hafuchais, v'gimel peduyais, v'shalosh shloimus. This comes up actually for those who say v'yitem l'chol matzah Shabbos. There's all these psukim that you say that actually comes up in atavas chalaim as well. They should say 3 hafuchais, 3 psukim, as we'll see, of turning over, of changing from bad to good. 3 psukim of redemption, and 3 psukim of shloimus, of peace. Shalosh hafuchas. What are the 3 psukim of turning something from bad to good? First pasuk is Hafachta mispedi l'machali. You will change. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will turn over my hesped, my eulogy, to mechali, to joy, to gladness. Pitachta saki v'ta'azrini simcha. You will have taken off or opened up my sackcloth, and you will gird me with joy. That's a pasuk of changing sadness to gladness. And the second pasuk is As tismach b'sula b'machol. Then the virgin will rejoice in dancing, in rejoicing. Ubachurim uskenim yachtav. And the young men and the old men together. And I will have changed the mourning to joy. The third pasuk of Fuchais is V'lei'ava Hashem Elokecha l'shmaya el Bilam. Hashem did not agree to listen to Bilam. Vayafach, and he changed the attempt that Bilam was doing to a good thing for the Jewish people. V'goymer. That's the three Fuchais. Shalish Peduyas. What are the three psukim of redemption? The first pasuk is Pad b'shalom nafshi mikravli. Hashem, you have redeemed with peace my soul from those who do battle against me. V'goymer. And the second pasuk of Shleimus is Peduyah Hashem yeshuvun. The redeemed ones of Hashem will returning after when there's a geula, v'gaimer, etc. And the third pasuk of Shleimus of Peduyas, is Vayomer ha'am el Shaul. The nation said to Shaul, did I skip? No. No, you skipped. I didn't skip. The third pasuk of Peduyah says, "Vayomer ha'am el Shaul." The nation said to Shaul, "Yonasan yamus asher asa Yeshua v'goymer." Should Yonasan die when there has been a salvation today, etc. And that's talking about in the context when Yonasan, the son of Shaul, didn't necessarily listen to his father's command, but the nation said we should still allow him to experience redemption. They redeemed him from the decree that had been made for anyone who would disregard that command. Shalish Shleimus. What are the three psukim of peace that these people should say? The first one is the pasuk says Boire Niv Sifasayim. Hashem creates the utterances of the lips. Shalom l'rachik v'lakaroiv. Peace to those that are far and close. Amar Hashem u'rufa'asiv. Hashem says, and He will heal you. It's the pasuk of Shalom, peace. The second pasuk of Shalom is V'ruach lavashayis hamasai v'goymer. Peace cloaked, hamasai, etc. And it talks about peace at the end of the verse. And the third pasuk of peace is Va'amartem koilachai. You shall say so for life. Ve'ata shalom u'beischa shalom. For you will be peace, for your house will be peace. V'goymer. So these are the three sections, each one with three psukim in it, that these people would say. That's the concept of atavas chalom. Continues the Gemara with a story. So these three rabbis were sitting together. So Amri, they said, each one should say a chiddush the other ones haven't heard. So the first one started off in Balmar and he said the following. If somebody sees a dream, now there's a machlekes in the Mefarshim here what this means. Either it means he doesn't know necessarily, he forgot it, like we said before, or it means that he doesn't know the implication. Is it good? Is it bad? So he doesn't know. He should stand in front of the kohanim when they're doing Berachos kohanim. He should say the following. This is very much like we have in the Siddur today. Master of the world, I am yours and my dreams belong to you. I had a dream and I don't know what it is. Whether I had a dream about myself or my friends had a dream about me. Or I had a dream about my friends. If they are good, strengthen them and make them effective. Like the dreams of Yosef, when he dreamed that his father and mother would bow down, etc., those were fulfilled. If they need refuah, because there's a negative implication, resha'im, so heal them. Like the waters of Mara when Moshe made them sweet. And like Miriam was healed from her tzaras. And like Chizkiah was healed from his illness. We discussed it earlier in the Masechta. Like the waters of Yericha were sweetened through Elisha. And just like you turned the curses of Bilam Arasha to bracha, you should also change all of my dreams for good. And he should finish off this Yehiratzon with the end of the Kohanim when they finish off and the Tzibur says Amen. Meaning you should try to finish it off right at the end. So the Amen of the Tzibur that's going at the end of the bracha, Yasem B'cha Shalom, for example, the end of each of the three sections also goes on this Yehiratzon. Taka today, we only, as Ashkenazim at least, Sfardim, they say it every day, but for us, since we only do it so infrequently, so we all say this because Mistama, we had a bad dream somewhere in between Pesach and Sukkot, for example. So maybe we say it anyways.
The not say this because
if they had a bad dream
every day. No,
so if they had a bad dream,
I'm saying.
Yeah. Inachinami. I saw a different kasha that's asked, which is on the second day of Yontif, l'chara, we shouldn't say it.
The same thing also.
Same point. Unless you had a bad dream that night. Again, like l'chara. So the Gemara continues. Now the girsa we have, we'll go with our girsa, and I'll tell you the gra is a different girsa. But the Eloi, this is our girsa. If you finish that Yehiratzon before the Kohanim finish their that section of the Birkas Kohanim. So you finish too early, and then the amin that the tzibur is going to say won't necessarily go on the hiratzin that you finished saying. So then you should add on some more words. Leima hachi, say the following: Adir b'marem shoichen b'gvura, the mighty Hashem. Ata shalom v'shimcha shalom, your peace, your name is peace. Yiratz mafonecha shetasim aleinu shalom, should be a will that you place peace on us. Now the simple pshat in the Gemara is you say that and then you finish when the tzibur says amin, so it goes back on all of the hiratzin. We say this after, when the chazan starts sim shalom, we say this as the tzibur. Actually, we say adi b'marim. There is this thing that we say, which actually is the graz girsa. Aval girsas rif v'rush v'chi mahadri kahani apayu leimahach. When the kohanim turn around, that's what we say, and that's taka what we do today. Okay, so that was the first member of these three rabbis. Pasach idach. The second one said his chiddush. V'amar, he said the following, different topic. He talked about ayin hara. Hayman de'ayil lamas. If somebody is going into a city, V'dachil me'ena bishin. He's worried about ayin hara. It's a fascinating idea.
He should say two prayers before.
No, that's a different story. That's a different issue. We'll get to that later. That was in the Mishnah.
He was worried he was going to be attacked or something.
That's a different story. I mean, they were saying, right, by the kings that the kings in the city have nefarious intent. But this is a different story. He's worried about ayin hara. So linkut zakfa diyada diyamina biyada desmale. He should hold the thumb of his right hand in his left hand, v'zakfa diyada desmale biyada diyamina, and the thumb of his left hand in his right hand. V'leima hachi, and say this: Ana Pliny bar Pliny, I am whatever my name is, the son of my father. Mizara de Yosef koasina de leishol tebein abisha. I'm from the children of Yosef, and ayin hara does not have effect on me. Where do we find this is true? Why he does that? Ayin sham in the Mefarshim. But Shenemar, where do we find Yosef's children are not affected by ayin hara?
Well, why can't he say I'm from the tribe of Yosef? We don't know which tribe we're from.
How could he say that?
Yeah.
I guess he's trying to say I'm like Yosef in a certain way. Yeah, I don't know. I hear. I hear. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, Ben Poiras Yosef, Ben Poiras Ali Ayin. Yosef is called Ali Ayin, above the eye. Al Tikri Ali Ayin. Ela Oile Ayin. Oile Ayin means above the eye. So he was over Ayin Hara. He was raised above Ayin Hara. Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Chanina, Rabbi Hachi says is another source that Yosef was spared of ayin hara. It says V'yigdu l'rei b'kerev ha'aretz, and Ephraim and Manasseh were blessed that the children of Yosef would be like dugim. They will increase in multitudes in the midst of the world. Ma dugim shebiyam ma'im mechasim aleim ve'ein ayin ra shelatis bohem. Just as fish, they're covered by water and ayin hara doesn't have effect over them. Af zara shel Yosef ein ayin ra shelatis bohem. The children of Yosef are not affected by ayin hara. So you're asking, how can you say I'm from the children of Yosef? Maybe he's not from the children of Yosef. Good kasha.
I think that's why you need a second one. The second one because
pasuk. No, both psukim are just proving that the children of Yosef are not protected by ayin hara.
But the second one we say, why do we say it? Because Yosef says, Kot Tevarach, right? Israel.
Oh, you're saying that's Ephraim and Manasseh?
Right.
Oh, so that's negea to everybody. Oh, very nice, very nice. Okay, I hear.
You know,
that's how we bless our children, Taka.
That's how we bless our children, and that stems from Yosef.
Very nice.
So maybe.
So we're shaykh to that as well.
I think that's why
beautiful.
we need a second answer.
Beautiful, beautiful. As far as this holding the thumbs thing, I don't know. You have to look at the Mefarshim what they say because it's very interesting.
No.
Very interesting, Tazach.
I have 2 left feet, so I
Yeah.
can't. Don't ask.
Continues the Gemara. Very interesting. If he's worried about his own ayin hara, the Mefarshim say either it means he's worried about him giving someone else ayin hara, or him giving himself ayin hara. Interesting. So lichsi atarfa de nechire de smole. He should look at the surface of his left nostril, and that's going to protect him somehow from ayin hara. How? I don't know. You have to look at this for him. Let's continue. Pasach idach. So the third fellow now said his chiddush. What was his chiddush? Amar hayman decholish. If somebody is sick, very, very interesting idea. Yomi Kama, the first day he's sick, loyligli, he should not tell the public. In order not to worsen his mazel. If he's sick, he has bad mazel. You tell people, this could even worsen the situation. But beyond that, he should reveal it. Why? Rava, similar to what Rava did. When he would get sick, Yom Kama, the first day, he wouldn't reveal it. Tell the attendant beyond that, go and announce that Rava is sick, because my friends will daven for me, so that it benefits me. Uman desanili, this is a fascinating thing. Those people who hate me, my enemies, lichtili, they'll gloat over me. V'ksiv, and we know the pasuk in Mishlei says, "Ben folei vechal tismach." When your enemy falls, don't rejoice. U'v'kashlei al yagel libecha, and when he stumbles, your heart should not rejoice. Pen yireh Hashem v'ra be'einav, lest Hashem hear and it'll be bad in the eyes of Hashem. V'heishiv me'olav apoi, and he will remove the anger from him. Now, what does that mean? So some Mefarshim say it means he'll just take away the sickness from the one you're being happy about. Others learn, and he'll put it on the guy who's rejoicing. So this is the way they'll be happy. It'll take off my sickness and it'll actually go on them. Shmuel ki hava chazi chalma bisho. Shmuel, when he used to see a bad dream, Amar, he would say, the pasuk says in Zechariah, the chaloimas hashav yadaberu. Dreams are just speak nothingness. It doesn't mean anything. Ki hava chazi chalma tava, when he saw a good dream, so Amar, he would say the same pasuk with a different inflection. Amar, ki v'chia chaloimas shav yadaberu. Are dreams speaking nothingness? Meaning, v'haksiv, the problem is the pasuk says, v'chaloim adaber by. It says Hashem speaks through dreams. So for his benefit, he would say, perhaps it means something. Rava quoted this as a contradiction. It says in the pasuk, first I speak through dreams. There is significance. But it also says it's nothing. So Rava explained like Kashya. Kan al yedei malach, kan al yedei shade. It depends how the dream was communicated. If it was with a malach, it has meaning. Through a shade, a demon, it's not significant. Amr Rabbi Bizna bar Zavda, Amr Rabbi Akiva, Amr Rabbi Panda, Amr Rabbi Nachum, Amr Rabbi Rav Birim, Mishum Zakin Echad. Umanu, who is that Zakin Echad? Rabbi Noah. Esrin v'arba'a poitrei chalaymas hayu b'Yerushalayim. There were 24 dream interpreters in Yerushalayim. This was a great profession. Pa'amachas, one time said Rabbi Benoah, Chalamti chalayim v'alachti etzel kulam. I had a dream and I went to all 24 of the dream interpreters. Umashe pasar li zeh lo pasar li zeh. And I had 24 different interpretations. V'kulam niskaimu bi. And they were all fulfilled. L'kayim ashene'emar, to fulfill what has been said, that all of the dreams follow the interpretation. Now the Gemara says that it's a very strange word we just used. Shene'emar is usually quoting a pasuk. Right. We didn't quote a pasuk. Right. So, krahu, is that a pasuk that dreams follow the interpretation? So the Gemara says in. It is like Rabbi Lazar says. Where do we find this concept? Shene'emar v'yikasher pasar lanu kein haya. The Saramashkim says to Paroi is that the way Yosef interpreted the dream, that's what ended up happening. Mm-hmm. So you see, but it only works if the interpretation is somewhat familiar or related to the dream. If someone comes up and says an interpretation completely unrelated, that's not going to be effective. Like the pasuk says, Ish kachaloi pasar. It says Yosef interpreted the Saramashkim, the butler and the baker, similar to their dreams, and therefore it was fulfilled. Now the pasuk there says Vayar Sara Oifim. It says that the baker saw Yosef interpreted the dream in a good way, and it was effective interpretation for the Saramashkim. So he approached with his dream as well to Yosef. So where's Menoyada? How did he know that Yosef's interpretation was right? Amar Belazar melamed shekol echad ve'echad heru chaloymai upisrin chaloymai shel chaverai, teaches us that each of the two of them, Saramashkim and Sara Oifim, were shown in their dream and the interpretation of the other one. So therefore the Sara Oifim saw in his dream the interpretation of the Saramashkim. So when he heard Yosef interpret, he knew that's a pshat. He went to him, he said, obviously you know how to do this, interpret for me as well. Now he didn't end up so well either. He ended up getting killed. But Kitzer, I guess the Saramashkim should have tipped him off. You shouldn't go, because it's not going to end well for you. Okay? Amr Rabbi Yochanan, Hishkim v'nafal pasuk l'taich piv. If a person wakes up and there's a pasuk in his mouth, this is a minor prophecy. Rabbi Yochanan says 3 types of dreams will be fulfilled. Chalaim shel shacharis, a dream that you have in the morning, means the last dream before you wake up. Chalaim shechalam lechaveroi, a dream that someone else dreams about you. V'chalaim sheniftar b'tay chalaim, very interesting. And a dream that the interpretation of the dream is also seen within the dream, meaning you also have that vision. The Yeshaimer and other people say af chalaim shenishna, also a repeated dream. Shenemar, like it says, by Pari, it says, Val Yishanis HaChalem V'Goymer, when Yosef interprets Pari's 2 dreams, as the repetition means, etc., there is significance to that. Now the Gemara splashes cold water on all of the excitement about dreams. Amar Reb Shmuel bar Nachmeni, Amar Reb Yonasan, Ein Marin Loila Adam, Elam Herhure Liboy. No. Right. The only thing is they show you in dreams things you were thinking about. That's it. What you were thinking about, whatever you were ruminating about during the day, that's the conglomerate ideas of what you're thinking about, and that's the dreams. Shene'emar, like the pasuk says, Daniel, Nebuchadnezzar tells Daniel, I want you to tell me my dream and the interpretation of it. So Daniel says back to him, he actually interprets it. So there does seem to be a prophetic emphasis. But Daniel responds in a way that he implies, at least kipshuta, in the simple pshat, that it's really just something you were thinking about. There's no significance. What does he say? Ant malka ra'ayonach al mishkavcha saliku. You, the king, Nebuchadnezzar, your thoughts on your bed, they entered your head. It means what you were thinking about, they entered your head when you were sleeping in your bed. But that's nothing, you don't have to worry about it, essentially. V'ibay sema, another place we find the same context there, v'ra'ayone levavech tinda, is that the thoughts of your heart, tinda, you're thinking about, you're contemplating, meaning it's nothing more and nothing less, it's just the thoughts of your head. Amar Rava Teda, Rava says, you should know that this is the reality. Machvu leila inish, loy dikla dahava, because a person that never has a dream of a golden palm tree, v'le pila da'ayel bekufa, nor of an elephant going through the eye of a needle. Why? Because those are things that are not really part of reality. So you don't think about it during the day. So you don't dream about it at night. So Zaktrava, you see, you only dream about things that are part of what you think about during the day. Now, it's very important to, as we just wrap this up, in terms of Shalom Aleichem, in terms of wrapping this up, it's just very important. I want to note what the Marsha says over here, because we just saw there's many different opinions and levels. What is it? It's not meaningful. So the art scroll quotes the Marsha here. Just kedai to finish up with this. We have anyways a couple minutes. The Marsha tries to break this down into three categories. Okay, what dreams is meaningful, not meaningful, which follow the interpretation. So the Marsha says as follows. First category of dreams is one that has no single objective meaning. I'm just briefly quoting the art scroll here. Meaning it has a multiplicity of meanings. He says like meanings. Lettuce. You dream about lettuce. It could mean a very positive thing, it could mean a very negative thing. It has no objective, clear implication. So in such a scenario, it won't affect you if you don't get it interpreted. Nothing's going to happen. Now, if you do get it interpreted, so he says essentially the interpreter brings out the meaning of the dream, but the way he says it is, it highlights latent elements of the meaning that's already there, transforming them into reality, even though beforehand it wouldn't have affected you if you wouldn't have had it interpreted. Second type of dream is a vision that objectively does have some sort of an implication. This is like a case of a well. A well could mean peace, it's a very positive thing. In such a scenario, if you go to a dream interpreter and he interprets it very negatively, this could have impact, actually. Means in this context, the dream interpreter can change it from being, he actually changes it, from being positive to being negative. Third type of dream described by the Marsha is one that has a true prophetic import. He says, for example, the dreams of Yosef. Means the dreams that Yosef had where his brothers were going to bow down to him. This was you could call it a real prophecy, and these were the dreams that Rav and the Gemara described as being delivered by Malachim and not Shedim, and those are dreams that actually, even without interpretation, would actually have some sort of an impact. As we find by Yosef, those dreams ended up becoming fulfilled in the story of Mitzrayim when the brothers came down. Okay, we'll stop here at the bottom of Nun Hey Amud Beis. We'll pick up with Nirvav tomorrow, Be'ez Hashem. Everyone have a wonderful day.